it's truly a blessing. You know, my teammates love them to death, and the coaches as well.
Vahiva, I just want to send a huge congratulations your way on winning the Golden Spikes Award, brother. What an achievement. I know how much this moment means to you and everyone around you. You've made everyone so proud this year, and it's been really fun watching you and seeing the way you represent Arkansas.
When he told us he was coming, we were so excited. We felt like that we got the best one out there and then maybe the best person out there. And, you know, we knew that the potential was there for him to really get better. He has a bright future, but he was, you know, we wouldn't be here this year if it wasn't for him.
There's a line drive left field deep. Back it goes to the wall. Into the bullpen. Out of here. Aloy with a 3-run homer. It's 7-0. Uh-oh. And a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch by Aloy.
What's your last message to Arkansas baseball?
I love you, Arkansas.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Hey, welcome into a Hot Take Monday edition of The Morning Rush. For the third time in about a decade, you have the best player in college baseball. Vahiva Aloy wins the 47th Golden Spikes Award, the third in Razorback history, along with Kevin Kopps and Andrew Benintendi. Baseball season concluded in the middle of last week, but I guess it kind of kept going into the awards on the award presentation on Saturday night, Tommy.
Yeah, and not surprising he won it. Not surprising. Once again, Arkansas's in the spotlight for an award of this nature. Kind of disappoints you that, he had to come back up there, come back to Omaha for this, but I'm glad he's there. And I guess everybody knows what you mean by, or what I mean by that was, you wish you'd been playing that night, had been in his uniform when he received the award. But, that's just part of the disappointment of how the season ended. But this is a silver lining over the way things ended for Arkansas, which was a little bit short of what everybody was hoping for.
Speaking of uniforms, I don't know if Dave and Coach Thompson stopped before at the stadium shop on Razorback, but they both had Razorback Hawaiian shirts on. I don't know why Bobby Warnes was wearing a black polo shirt when it was hot. Like I'm looking at the picture and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, could you not pick out a worse polo shirt?
Black makes you look thin,
but he doesn't need to. He's a good shape, but I was like, man, he's got to be hot in that. But cool to see Vahiva again. Not just mention Arkansas there. Obviously, say glowing things about Dave Van Horn and the rest of his teammates and staff. Along with Charles Davalon and Cam Kozel, very emotional following Arkansas's loss to LSU last week. And you were talking about like, hey, when do you get over? One of the questions we asked last week is like, when do you get over this season? I would assume it's nothing but positive things that came out of Saturday night when he took that award. I was frustrated in the fact that LSU ended up winning their 8th straight national championship, second time in 3 years. Jay Johnson is now the quickest coach to win 2 national championships in his tenure at the start of a school, which is pretty impressive. It's the best college baseball job in the country, and I didn't watch it. I didn't watch any of it. Again, the bigger story is probably Schnall getting ejected this weekend, so that'll be something we discuss this morning. But cool to see that Vahiva ends up taking home some hardware. I know we're still waiting on that one trophy, a national championship, but third Golden Spikes in about a decade.
It validates how well Arkansas has been recruiting for a long time. You don't have 3 players that essentially win the Heisman Trophy of college baseball. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is. It's the sport's biggest individual award. You don't have 3 of those for your program unless you're doing something right in the recruiting. And it tells you that what Dave Van Horn has going on from a recruiting standpoint is on point, getting the right players, and then getting the results out of them. So it's another indicator of the many things that are going correctly in that program.
Yeah. So we've got a lot to discuss this morning. We're going to talk about Jalen Isaiah winning the NBA championship last night as the Thunder close it out against the Pacers. Unfortunately, Tyrese Halliburton looks like he's ruptured his Achilles, so that was a tough moment for Pacers fans last night. Cal's in the news and the headlines again. Your basketball program has got an awesome non-conference schedule that we need to get to. And the other thing to it's on the agenda, what do you do from now till the end of August? I mean, there's MLB baseball, but there's no Razorback events of any sort.
SEC media days.
Yeah, I mean, but like I'm thinking to myself as someone that is consumed by sports on a daily and weekly basis for 2 months. It's just this gaping hole. I guess I can fill it with golf in the lake, but that's about it.
Well, when you go golfing or you go to the lake, take us along with you. The Hit That Line Now app is powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. The Hit That Line Now app has been very popular so far in June. We can tell you that by looking at the numbers. Be one of the hundreds of thousands to join us. In fact, it's about approaching 1 million this month that have listened to us on the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell.
All right, so I mentioned the 8th and 9th Razorbacks of all time to win the NBA championship last night. In thrilling fashion, the Thunder closed it out in Game 7.
He's hurt right away when he fell. Of course, that strained calf. Blocked by Aldridge. Short to save. SGA splits the defense. Kicks it out. Williams, a three-pointer. 21-point lead. The Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The Storybook season is complete.
Clay Bennett, Sam Presti, Coach Daignault, and this amazing team. Congratulations. You're the 2025 NBA champions.
This is the opening drive.
So a little frustrated last night because while they did win, Jalen and I got a little angry at Daignault because he didn't play Jalen or Isaiah last night, which is a little frustrating. But nevertheless, the 8th and 9th Razorbacks of all time to win it. And according to GPT, the only second pair of teammates from high school ever to be on the same NBA champion team as well, so which is kind of a cool thing. We had talked about it leading into last night, but 4 of the last 5 NBA championships have featured Arkansas Razorbacks, which is cool. Between Bobby Portis, Moses Moody, Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe. Who am I missing? Just blanked off the top of my head. Who's the last one I'm missing?
Moody, Portis.
Jordan Walsh.
Jordan Walsh
is the last one. So 4 of the last 5 NBA championships have Razorbacks a part of it. You were talking about, obviously, the third Heisman equivalent in the last decade or so for Razorback baseball. Well, that speaks to the testament of Razorback basketball and what they've had success lately. And I want to say this. So you think about the resurgence of Arkansas basketball, and we'll talk about the schedule coming up in just a bit. But Isaiah and Jalen, and I realize Isaiah was on a team that didn't make the NCAA tournament because the season was shortened by COVID. But think about what those two individuals did in getting Arkansas back on track and to where it is now, where you feel like that the second weekend is almost the bare minimum for your basketball program, which may be fair, maybe not. But where it was previous about 20 years to where it is now, I don't think enough can be said about those two coming to Arkansas, kind of relaying the foundation and setting this program up for success. What, 4 of the last 5 years, 5 of the last 6 when it comes to NCAA tournaments?
And I think as long as John Calipari's your head coach, you're going to feel good. Like every year you're in the mix for something big. You're in the mix. It's kind of like, is your expectation and your emotion about basketball approaching kind of where you're at with baseball? Because every year, let's just be honest, you may not say it real loud early in February, but by June, we're all saying, all right, we're going to Omaha. I think while John Calipari has not gotten you to a Final Four, anyone kind of thinking, hey, I think this is a Final Four contender this year. I'll be the first to raise my hand.
Colton, you raising your hand?
I think this program is a team that you would put amongst that list. Colton shaking his head. Are you saying no over there?
I'm just not saying that it's Final Four yet. I'm saying, but you can expect them to have those type of teams every year. I agree with you.
I'm just saying you're in
Definitely
the mix.
contending.
You're in the conversation. Arkansas baseball is always in the conversation. I'm just saying you've gotten a program that's being built quickly that now you're in the mix and in the conversation amongst what people that talk about the sport on a national level, you're now included. You're part of the conversation, and it's legit. You're getting the players. You're seeing the results of NIL and the funding there. And it's just fun to be part of that.
Well, and I think
you wish football could figure out how to drag itself into some kind of conversation like that.
And that's when Single A bringing up when will we see a John Tyson move type in football, texting in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. As we get closer to this upcoming football season, you referenced SEC Media Days, which we're going to be hearing about, I guess, 3 weeks from today? Yeah, I think it's 3 weeks from today. We'll be at the College Football Hall of Fame in Atlanta, Georgia, talking all things, not just Arkansas, but SEC and everything else, kind of kind of where they are right now. The win total is 5.5. I tend to think they're going to be right around a bowl eligibility team. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they wow us, and I hope they go off this season. But as we're in this stage right now, I don't know if you saw this graphic when it comes to Razorback sports. It's called the hog cycle. Can't wait for football season.
I've seen this, yeah.
At least we still have basketball season. Omahogs, save us from the pain. I had an interesting conversation with a Morning Rush listener at the end of last week. And regardless if this is fair or not, or if the players feel it or not, I think they felt it, is you have this dynamic. We always talk about like the Razorbacks are it's like a single party state, right? Like it's just about Arkansas. Obviously, there's people that have allegiance to UCA, OBU, Arkansas State, and else. But for the most part, it is very heavily dominated by the football, basketball, and baseball coverage that we give you or that we watch or listen to or whatever. And I think, and I agree wholeheartedly with what this guy was telling me. It's like you had a good basketball season. I mean, you got all the way to Sweet 16. I know there were ups and downs during the regular season, more downs than ups at times. Football, you beat Tennessee, just kind of middle of the pack. Mediocre is a word that was characterized of it. But it's like there's this pressure that the baseball team has placed upon them, not just because they haven't gotten that national title that they've sought, but they also, like, when the football team doesn't live up to expectations or be better than is, the basketball team, the season, the way it ended up after being up like 13 against Tech, like all the pressure now gets shoved on baseball being the last sport of the calendar year, and the way the softball team concluded as well. Whether it's fair or not, that's just kind of reality where it falls in order on the baseball team.
Pressure is a privilege. You're privileged if you have pressure. That means you've earned the right for people to expect something of you.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Pressure is a privilege. So, I never want to be I don't want to be like where my golf game's at. No one's expecting anything out of me, right? I want to be in these buckets like I am professionally and maybe at home and some other places in my life that, people have expectations for me to perform. Mm-hmm. Hey, and if you don't, you're letting me down. Pressure is a privilege. So I don't mind at all, if someone wants to tell me there's too much pressure heaped on baseball or even the basketball program.
Well, I let my partner down this weekend on 18. Would you say you let Teddy down this weekend?
Completely.
Okay.
We both, if you don't know what, Ty and I both were in a separate teams, obviously, but in a 4-ball golf tournament this weekend at Hardscrabble Country Club in Fort Smith. And, I think I let myself down more than I let anybody down. But anyway.
It happens.
I made the party.
I did the party. I did too. All right, let's take a phone call here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Not Sardis, Mississippi. Sardis, Arkansas. I know Jimmy's called in before. Jimmy's called in again. Jimmy, what's going on, man?
Glad you straightened that out.
Well, no, that's where KJ's from.
Well, I say we had a 5-star basketball program. We got a 5-star baseball program and about a 2.5, 3-star football program. And I bet they don't win 5 football games this year.
Boy, Mr. Sunshine.
They suck. That's just the way they are. We're in the piss with Pittman. Till you get a rock star football coach, we're not going to be nothing. And we've been lied to. Sam Pittman's not a great offensive line coach. And Bobby Petrino he can't even get any players, and he has a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback in his resume. We stink, and you can smell it from here, and that's all I got to say. But go basketball, go baseball.
Just not football.
Golly.
Just
all right.
I was waiting on this call, and I mean we are not even a week past baseball season. And listen, I'm not going to lie to you and say that this football team's going to win 9 or 10 games, or that they're going to blow the doors off. I'm hoping they just surprise us all and win 7 or 8. But when you couple what Jimmy just said, I'm not going to say that's the entire Razorback fan base because I don't think it is. But there's more of those this year than there have been recently. And I also think it's important, and this is not just a Sam Pittman problem. Tommy, I saw the stat this morning, and this just hurts to say. The last 9 seasons, you have either had a 500 or less conference record. Let me run that back. A 500 less. You have not had a winning conference season since 2015. And that was the same year you lost to Tech and Mahomes, and you lost to
finished 5-3 in the league that year.
Yeah, but that is
had a chance to win 10 games that year, but I think you won 8.
You went 8-5. Yeah. So again, the last 9 seasons, you've had a 500 less record, which just it hurts. And I don't blame Jimmy for having that opinion. Yeah. You're kind of in that wait and see mode, or show us before you get positive or anything. I hope it doesn't get to the point where people feel that strongly leading up and they actually do something, and then you're just waiting for something to fall or hurt. Again, we're 2 months out for football season. Basically 2 months and a week out from the opener against Alabama A&M in Fayetteville. But I don't blame Jimmy for thinking that way at all.
Let's see what Ryan in Hot Springs thinks. He's on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Here's the way I would frame it: do we suck, or do we just play in the farm league for the NFL? I mean, look at all the players that get drafted out of the NFL year in, year out, and everybody was talking about how bad Brett Bielema sucks, and turn around and look what he's doing at Illinois. I just think that we're just in a league that eats coaches. Now, I mean, he's had his gaffes. Don't get me wrong, but also let's not act like he's not done anything while he's been here. He gave us our first 9-win season. He's been to a bowl game like 4 out of 5 years. That hasn't been done since Houston Dale Nutt. Yeah. He also is the only coach to ever go into Florida and beat Florida. Say what you want to about how sucky that team was, still hasn't been done. He's the only coach to do that. Like I said, he's won.
Here's what you're missing, Ryan. Let me add to what you're saying. Everything's right, but he's restored toughness. We were soft.
Right.
We were easy. No, we had no backbone under Chad Morris. It had been
right.
It had been removed from the program. If nothing else, Sam Pittman has made us tough again in a lot of places. Now, are we winning enough football games? No, but we don't lay down at least. And there's not a lot of 53 to 3s on his resume either.
Right. Well, the comparison I would like to make, and I love Anderson, so this is not a shot at Anderson, but I feel like he's kind of like Mike Anderson. He's a solid coach. He's a good developer of men, and he's not going to get you embarrassed, but he's not going to get you the promised land, which until we can kind of fully figure out what's going to go with this NIL deal. I don't want to fully invest into another coach, and then some weird stuff goes with this NIL stuff. So I want to win, but I just hate the way that this also too, everybody forgets how much bad luck Pittman's been dealt. In 2022, he basically had to put a defense together with bubblegum and baling wire.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost 4 or 5 of your best corners for your backfield in the first half of Cincinnati. There's a lot of good coaches that would not even made a bowl game that season with the cards that he was dealt. So I mean, I feel like he's overcome a lot. He's had his gaffes, don't get me wrong, but he's had some dealt some bad luck too. I mean, look at KJ, who goes and dives into the touchdown, fumbles it. Rocket tries to tie a guy up, and winds up being a freak play, and that wound up being the difference in the A&M game.
Would have been 21-0, and then it became 14-7 at the end of that half. Oh yeah, remember it well. Ryan, appreciate the call. Couple points.
It did all that with a quarterback that couldn't keep the starting job at UCF.
Mm-hmm. Couple points there. So Jimmy was bringing up the offensive line. They're better there this year. Then your offense is going to be helped.
They'll be deeper.
He went at Coach Petrino. I mean, Petrino had 1 year. They weren't great last year offensively. I know Andrew Armstrong and others have echoed how big of a jump they could take in year 2. I'm just worried about who Taylor's going to throw the ball to. By the way, Taylor's going to be throwing the ball in Thibodaux, Louisiana, I guess, by the end of this week at the Manning Passing Academy. Wouldn't mind getting Tyler Wilson on, who was an attendee back in the day there, and chatting with him about that a little bit. But obviously, the Mannings think high enough of Taylor to send him an invite. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's going to be a first team or second team or third team All-SEC quarterback. He's not. But I think there will be a play or two this season that he can help you win a football game in the Southeastern Conference. Now, you want to win more than that, but I think the man needs to think high enough of Taylor to send him an invite.
All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by the Fence Man, the company we trust with anything involving a fence. And if you want a fence that stands out and stands strong, the Fence Man can do it. 782-3936 is the number. They've been serving the Fort Smith and surrounding area for more than 40 years, and they build fences that are custom and built to last as well. Residential, commercial, high-security fencing. If you need automatic gates that have keypads or remote controls or controlled by your phone or all of that, they can do that as well. Plus, they have 18-month financing available as well. That's the Fence Man, 782-3936. See their work online at thefencemanAR.com.
All right, what are your hot takes from this weekend or heading into this week? Again, we got a while now till Arkansas football plays. You heard Kevin giving his take this morning, or Jimmy, I should say, about Arkansas football heading this fall. Oklahoma City Thunder win the NBA championship last night. Vahiva Aloy wins the Golden Spikes. And how about Coach John Calipari and the non-conference schedule that we have ahead for the Arkansas Razorbacks? We'll tell you more about that here coming up in your Hog Update.
Yeah, I guess we can keep up with the Bet Saracen app. Also look at all the preseason odds and over-under win totals. We got summer baseball as well, and it's all available at the Bet Saracen app. Download it now in the Apple app or Google Play Store. It's the Bet Saracen app. Arkansas's #1 mobile sports betting app is Bet Saracen.
All right, when we come back, reference the Hog Update, we're going to hear more from Vahiva Aloy as he wins the Golden Spikes, the 47th and third in Razorback history. That is coming up next.
I think at the end of the day, as fans, that's what we care about more than really winning. Sometimes is do other people think we matter. More important than winning to some people.
You matter.
Yeah.
You matter to me.
Thank you.
This is the Morning Rush.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Since 2009, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has provided more than $1 billion in scholarships to thousands of Arkansans just like you. So thanks a billion, Arkansas. If you'd like to apply for the scholarship, simply go to sams.adhe.edu and fill out the information. And just like that, you're applied. The deadline's coming up, so don't forget. Apply now at sams.adhe.edu.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
What is the kid? This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
Insurance company throwing you a curveball? Are they crowding the plate and not offering you a fair settlement? If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need an experienced attorney to fight for you. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Licensed in Arkansas and Oklahoma, no win, no fee. Call Mock Legal Solutions today for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing, and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
There's only one place to buy fireworks at wholesale prices. Hey guys, I'm Chris Brewer, the owner of USA Fireworks in Arkansas. The best way to purchase your fireworks show is at wholesale prices. Get more fireworks for your money at USA Fireworks Wholesale. If you're interested in purchasing a fireworks show at wholesale prices, send us a message on our website at usafireworks.org. That's usafireworks.org. Go Hogs.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
It's a special season if you make it to the College World Series. This has been a special season for Arkansas baseball. 5th time ever with 50 wins, 12th time here in Omaha. And I hope that's what we're going to try to take away from this season more than anything else. You know, I know we've ended broadcasts, we've ended seasons here before, Bubba. I don't know, this one just feels a little bit different than the other ones.
I think this is the most fun I've had doing this because of this group of guys, and just they were just so much fun to be around. They were so much fun to watch play ball.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush, brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
That's how I feel every Friday about you guys when I leave here. Just hope to come back for another week. See Colton and Ty. So fun to be around. And here we are Monday morning, back with you all again.
Back here on a Hot Take Monday. Razorback Baseball put that out. Phil and Bubba, I guess the end of the call this past week. Again,
hey, I mean, I haven't done play-by-play in a number of years. Really enjoyed it when I did it. But you get emotionally attached to the teams.
Yep.
You get emotionally attached to the players, the coaches, the people you're around, the people you travel with. The good ones include you kind of as part of the family, and I know Phil and Bubba feel like part of that baseball family. So when it's over, it hurts. You know, if it didn't, then you wouldn't be doing your job.
Hog Wild says, "Stop crying like your dog died over baseball." He's texting it here. The Lewis Automotive Group hotline this morning. Well, baseball.
You did finish in the top 4 of the sport, so you kind of got that thing going for you. Isn't it good though that that's disappointing? Yeah, I mean that's really a good thing at the end of it all. You're disappointed that you finished 3rd or 4th in the final results.
And this might be a some people might take issue with this, and if you do, that's fine. I told someone after they lost, if they're going to lose, I'm glad they lost tonight and didn't lose in the closeout game. Because like the emotional roller coaster of finally beating LSU in the postseason, only to lose to them the next night would have just, and not that it was hard to bear that loss with how it concluded. You being up 5-3 with basically
beating yourself,
2 outs, and just, yeah. But that's how, if I'm looking at a positive.
And quit telling me it's the most Arkansas thing ever. No, it's not. Because the most Arkansas, no, you're wrong. You are wrong.
Okay.
The most Arkansas thing ever would have been to beat them on Saturday, only to have LSU to come back and beat you twice to go to the championship round.
All right.
That would be the most Arkansas thing ever. Which
help me on
that would have been a lot more painful.
Was it 2012 that South Carolina beat you twice on the way to Ray Tanner's, I think, first or second championship? Yeah. So that has happened. Again, there's like this team, someone said that this team has found ways to lose in Omaha unlike anything they have ever seen. I hope, and I said this last week.
No, that's not true either. Well, they had obviously we all know about 18, but they don't find ways to lose unlike any other team.
I think I said this last week and I'll say it again. So if you splice up Dave's tenure here, right, from 2003 to 2015, the first 4 College World Series, and then 2016 to 2025, think about there's no season in 2020. There's no postseason, I should say. They played a few games, but they didn't get through it. They've gotten farther, and they've gotten to Omaha quicker between years.
He's gotten better.
Yeah.
Over his tenure. Which is the point I think you're driving at. And you know what? And I don't know. Only he can answer. We've talked about this. I don't remember. But 2016 changed him. The formula, he changed his staff. I think the way he recruited. 16s were, I think, all right, by God, we're not doing this again. And he went to work making serious changes that have all paid off. And, you run through the dividends or the results of those changes that have been extremely consistent. But if you just look at the whole tenure, 8 and 24 years? Dude, you're going to Omaha 1 out of 3 on average.
Yep.
And it's a better average than that over the last, since 17.
It's the last 9 years.
Yeah.
You think about the missed postseason in 2019, and then you had that setup and everything else. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. Hog Update always brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8
Did you watch any of the LSU Coastal Carolina?
Yes.
I just saw the highlights.
Did I sit down and watch it from start to finish? No, but I did watch them close out Coastal, and I did see the coach get ejected, and so yeah, I'm aware of what happened.
That was pretty crazy.
Oh my goodness, he just threw Schnall out of the game. Wow. In the bottom of the first inning, the home plate umpire throws Kevin Schnall out of this game, and down goes an umpire who had come in to get in the middle of things.
So I read the rules. The NCAA sent out an email to everything else. I just thinking in that moment to eject him in the first inning, you just have to restrain yourself as an umpire. Do you not? Especially, did you watch the balls?
Hang on. How many pitches have there been in that game at that point? 10, I believe, was the count number that was on the screen.
Like single
what the hell are you doing arguing balls and strikes when you haven't seen enough pitches to really know whether this guy's way off or on point or what? I'm with you. Maybe a little more leash, a little more restraint in a national championship situation. But he was told more than once to get back. Umpire writing it down on his card, gave him time. He also didn't do what he was asked to do. Now, I don't think you need the hook in the first inning on that stage. That game is also on ABC, probably the largest college baseball audience maybe ever, and that's the way it went.
Did not go according to plan for Coastal as LSU takes home its 8th national championship. We mentioned it being hot in Omaha. It's National Hydration Day. What do you guys do?
Bring me a cold one.
What do you guys do? Okay, cold one, water.
I got a cold water
Gatorade.
right here.
All right, let's talk to our friend David Rath. David, on National Hydration Day at Rath Mitsubishi, what do you drink when you're biking or doing something outdoors?
Just copious amounts of coffee count.
Okay, that works. I'm up to 2 a day now. I've got to do 2 a day. That's the way you got to make it.
Lots of cups.
Cups, just cups.
Oh, rookie numbers.
Yeah, got to bump those up a little bit.
Got to bump those numbers up.
Well, speaking of numbers, you guys are taking care of people's state sales tax when you trade this month at Rath Mitsubishi, and Larry's doing it too at Rath Auto Resources, right?
Yeah, we kicked that into gear at the end of last week. Just trying to finish out this month and figure we'd get a head start on 4th of July and all that stuff. So, if you know your history, like the whole reason we exist as a country is because we were mad about taxation. So that felt like a patriotic spin on having a good promo for 4th of July. So yeah, bring your old ride in here. If you trade with us, we're gonna pay your state sales tax on one of our road ready certified used cars here at Rath Mitsubishi and at Rath Auto Resources in Portsmouth. We're gonna do that through 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, and that's a inspection warranty. That's not something you typically get on pre-owned vehicles, but it's different at both Rath Mitsubishi and Rath Auto Resources. Well, David, have a great rest of your week, man. We've got a lot of good weather, hopefully, to look forward to, and take advantage of it.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, you guys have a good one.
All right, good stuff, as always, from our friend David Rath of Rath Mitsubishi. All right, when we come back, we've got our Morning Rush daily question to get to. I actually have one, if we want to use it, based on the interaction that I saw with Jalen Williams following the Thunder's championship last night, which I thought was pretty entertaining. A lot to get to. It is a Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
I shouldn't be held accountable for a grown man's athleticism.
This is the Morning Rush.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Iron, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Details. At Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, Van Buren, there's never been a better time to buy. Stop in today and check out our huge discounts on new Chevrolets and pre-owns. No reasonable offer will be refused, and at Roads, we always give you more for your trade. Plus, we offer free pickup and delivery. You can even buy remotely. Stop in and let us show you the Roads way with our 2-year complimentary maintenance program on every vehicle sold. Experience the Roads way. Road Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway, where you get the best prices, period.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has raked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Whether you're opening your first checking account, purchasing your first home, saving for your first big vacation, or opening a new business, First Star Bank offers hometown service with the latest in digital banking technology. Our local team makes banking fast, convenient, and easy. From simple everyday banking to helping you fulfill your dreams, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. First Star Bank. We'll be there through all your firsts. Learn more at firststar.bank or stop by one of our local branches today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
So now what? That's your Morning Rush Daily Question. Now what do we do for the next 2 months? What interests you? That's what I want to talk about. Because it's not like our brains shut off. It's not like we quit watching sports. It's not like we, maybe our interests shift to different conversations or different things. Maybe a little more outdoor activity. So now what? What interests you these next 60 days?
We got the NBA.
You got NBA's over, college baseball's over. You got a draft coming up. Mm-hmm. What interest? I don't want to just go over the question is what interests you over the next 60 days?
I want to see if where Theo falls on. I'm going to guess Thursday. Wednesday night starts the NBA draft. Thursday, it's between the first two rounds. I want to see just kind of some buzz around SEC Media Days here 3 weeks from today, and kind of what the thoughts are on the other SEC programs outside of Arkansas. We'll go to the lake, play some golf, and then before we know it, football will be here.
What interests you, Colton?
In terms of the sports world, there's really not much. I've never gotten into Major League Baseball. I could probably pick a team, and that's really all that's left that's being televised in terms of major sporting events right now. For me personally, though, these next 50 or 60 days is going to be. I'm battening down the hatches. We are. It is.
What does battening look like?
Well, there's a term for it for mothers. It's nesting.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that means getting rid of all the stuff that she deems is trash. That is actually my possessions, like clothing and important memorabilia, stuff like that. But for her, she's trying to make a nice, clean, inviting, warm space for the baby to come into. So now,
it'll be warm.
August, it'll be hot. And trust me, I've heard a lot about that too. August 11th right now is what we're looking at. So for the next 50 or so days, that's about all I can think about my focus on is that. So
well, you can think about other things, but you're going to get redirected by your wife.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
I got you.
You mentioned the MLB.
I wish I could cling to a team. I wish I could get interested, but I am so invested in Razorback baseball. I have just pretty well dropped Major League Baseball until they get to deep in the playoffs.
They sold my team to Las Vegas.
This is why I have been on the bandwagon, and nobody will listen to me. And I know that TV executives want the summer off, but I think this is an opportunity. The NBA should move their season back to start at Christmas so that we have the playoffs ending late July, early August, somewhere in there, and then they're off until Christmas. They should start up because they always try to own Christmas Day, right? That should be like...
And they get owned by the National Football
League. Right, but that should be their big coming out party, should be Christmas Day, so that all of us would be right now conference semifinals, somewhere like that. Wouldn't that make our summers better?
Oh, yeah.
I would watch, and they're afraid people won't watch because it's summer. I think if you gave people an option to watch it, they would.
Chris says he's catching up with ESPN, the Ocho, and the Cornhole Championships and the other stuff this summer. My dad texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline talking about the NBA draft and U.S. Men's Gold Cup quarterfinals this weekend against Costa Rica. I'm guaranteeing Matt Jones is probably going to watch that. He's sent us some frustrated text because the U.S. isn't playing, like a lot of their best players aren't playing, and they've been just getting drilled in soccer lately. And the World Cup's going to be here next year.
We got one more major in golf, and that's pretty much it. Then the FedEx playoffs, blah, blah, blah.
By the way, did you see?
I'm more interested in the Open Championship.
Speaking of FedEx, you see Fred Smith pass away. I saw a lot of Memphis, including Cal, talk about him. I've got a Memphis, obviously some friends that live over there, and they saw that's big, not just in Tennessee. That's big national news too. So
what next? Text us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. What will interest you over the next 60 days? Maybe we'll talk about it.
Hogwild's 60 days at the MLB and ESPN trying to make the WNBA relevant. Being Clarksville.
Hey, the more they fight, the more I'll watch.
That's true.
The more they fight, the more I watch.
I think what Caitlin Clark has done between women's college basketball and now, there's already more people interested than there were. It's kind of like, think about, for example, like close to home, like something hits here. How many of us paid any lick of attention to Arkansas softball prior to 6 years ago? I'll hold my hand up and say I didn't. She's an individual versus a team, and the success that Coach Deifel has done with her program here since arriving, I think in 2016. But she's elevated it, and she plays like Steph Curry. She's not Steph Curry, but she plays like Steph Curry, which makes it exciting to watch. And we've never seen a female athlete do that on a basketball court before prior to arriving. That's someone that hasn't watched a lot of female basketball. I'll fully put my hands up about that, but it's definitely something else you could watch this summer. All right, that's a good Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. Number one, place it's something you can do this summer. You can stop by Cart Pass Social. Yeah. It's going to be 90-plus degrees a lot of this summer. If you want to be in a climate-controlled environment and still play golf at one of over 1,000 different courses, you mentioned, is it the Open's the last one, right? Is it
the Open Championship?
Okay, when is that coming up?
Also known as the British Open. I'll look.
Okay.
It's in July.
I'm going to guess that at Christian and Nate's place, you can play that course at Cart Pass Social because they've got over 1,000 that they can play. Check it out, cartpasssocial.com. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from the Atwoods. If you're looking for a great place for corporate events, birthday parties, just somewhere to hang out this summer and stay out of the heat, it's Cart Pass Social, the number one indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas. Cart Pass Social. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. Starting Friday, B in Clarksville will be watching the Hallmark Channel. Christmas in July. My wife will be watching too. I know Hallmark comes out with all these different home movies that people enjoy. They're actually not bad around the holidays, but I haven't.
You go ahead.
You're not going to watch those with your wife?
They're terrible.
Yeah. The Open will be July 13th through the 20th. And Royal Portrush. So, not one of the courses I'm playing.
Well, while you've got several months to wait on Arkansas basketball, you do have an exciting schedule.
Well, that's sting. That's the same time we're at SEC Media Days, too, by the way.
Time's out. Well, we can at least watch it.
I'm going to see if they can move that for us.
In and out. So, this was recently reported. Texas Tech, you're going to be playing them on December the 13th in Dallas, Texas, the American Airlines Center. You're already playing Duke in the United Center in Chicago on Thanksgiving Day. Louisville's coming in here for the SEC Challenge. UCA is coming to Bud Walton according to Hog Sports. You've got Baylor. That hasn't been scheduled yet. Michigan State, another report out there that you're going to go to East Lansing for that. Listen, the SEC basketball as a whole is already going to be really, really good. Don't know if it'll be as good as it was last year, but Cal is not shying away from non-conference opponents this upcoming season. That is a awesome non-conference game. You wish more of those games were at home, but man, Arkansas basketball, you think about this season, they have, I think it was John Rothstein put this out. I might be misplacing credit, but they have the most returning production in the SEC at 45%. I think of scoring maybe. So I know Rothstein has them like second behind Florida and what did I say? Todd Day. Why am I blanking on?
Todd Golden.
So you're going to have like this, you're going to be battle tested early in non-conference play, which hopefully with all the guys you can have back, maybe you split it, go like 3-3, and you'll have a great non-conference slate heading into the conference basketball.
I had someone tell me this weekend they were recently offered by the foundation one of 4 seats that are going to be available between the bench and the scorers table that are going to be put in this year. So now there's going to be high-level booster seating on the bench side, right near the Arkansas bench, kind of like they do in the NBA. Well, exactly like they do in the NBA.
Did they tell you how much it was going to cost for them to sit there? Because I got that number too.
I got that number too.
It is absurd.
It was.
No, thank you.
And the rules were ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You got to be Sergeant Schultz. I know nothing. I heard nothing. I see nothing.
They get the like there's a sheet on I don't know if it's given to them at the beginning of the season or something, for Gucci Row or whatever, but they're rules that I had no idea about until a couple years ago that are part of it.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about basketball. Cal was on Pat McAfee last week, and front and center, the NBA MVP, the Finals MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who played for him at Kentucky. Cal just talked about the amount of money his guys have made heading up to the NBA.
Can I throw a humble brag out there?
Absolutely. Please, yes.
Okay, my guys have made $6 billion in the NBA.
$6 billion. I was just I listened to that clip and I just kind of like had to step back and think about it. But you think, I mean, all the guys.
I guess someone ran the tape on that. And,
I'm gonna guess he had a staff member.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you calculate all
you know
the?
how long it'd take just to. You know how long it'd take just to get the roster of all the guys that have signed an NBA contract that have played for him ever?
That has to include endorsement deals too, I would think.
Probably that. I would guess that plays into a role with that. Obviously,
you know what? Some agent probably came up with that number.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's pretty close.
Oh, well, front center. Not only was
$6 billion.
Not only was John
like
Calipari,
the GDP of some countries.
Yeah.
You know?
John Calipari and a couple of his former players last night. Jalen and Isaiah didn't play for Cal. But you know, Jalen had his first beer last night at 22 years old, and he was saying, "That's what no."
Where's the tequila?
Where's the tequila? I watched him. It was funny. They put up a video of him drinking his first beer, and I thought to myself, that is how I looked. No, I mean, I think that's legitimate. That was his first one. Do you not think so? I mean,
maybe
first beer story. I was 17 years old at my grandma's farm, and my cousin gave me a Milwaukee's Best.
Oh,
and I had a similar reaction that Jalen had last night, where it was just like. Like when you have a lemon, you know, like a wart head or something, you just kind of tense up. That was how I looked last night. Not last night, but having my first beer. What did you wait till 21?
I was 12. No, I don't remember. I'm trying to remember. 11 and a half. But
30 years ago, 35 years ago.
I don't remember having very many that tasted bad. So even that first one was pretty good on a hot day.
But it wasn't hot though. The beer itself wasn't hot. Okay.
No, the temperature was hot. The
beer
was cold.
You're of age, of course, right? You're supposed to be the role model here.
I was not. Hey, Razorback football, we're what are we, 67?
68
days away. The in-state battle against Arkansas State is on for September the 6th. First ever matchup between the schools. Get tickets now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call the Hogs at 1-800-982-HOGS. Tailgating info at WarMemorialStadium.com is available right now. It's Arkansas and Arkansas State. Get your tickets at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
All right, when we return in hour number 2, we'll talk a little football. More on Vihebo Loy winning the Golden Spikes, the 47th award given out on Saturday at Charles Schwab. It's a Hot Take Monday. What are your hot takes this morning? The Morning Rush rolls on next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Since 2009, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has provided more than $1 billion in scholarships to thousands of Arkansans just like you. So thanks a billion, Arkansas. If you'd like to apply for the scholarship, simply go to sams.adhe.edu and fill out the information. And just like that, you're applied. The deadline's coming up, so don't forget. Apply now at sams.adhe.edu.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Summer is here, and Gelco Outdoors has the outdoor gear for you. Hiking boots by Salomon, running shoes by Under Armour, fishing shoes by Extra Tough and Under Armour, dry fit fishing and outdoor clothing by AFCO, Ariat, Drake, Hook, and Under Armour. Take advantage of the hot summer deals on summer clothing with buy one, get the second at 50% off. See store for details. For all your summer fishing, Gelco has the gear. Hunters, get ready for bow season. Gelco Outdoors, your one-stop summer store. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson from the Morning Rush, and I want to tell you what Linda, Joe, and their team are doing at Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Daily lunch specials come with a side and a roll, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3, just $9.99 each. Mondays is Mimi's Meatloaf. Tuesday is 3 chicken tenders. Wednesday is chicken fried steak. Thursday, Garrison Swiss chicken. And Friday, a Whippoorwill burger. 509 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Timeless Southern home cooking.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. There's a slight chance of a shower or two across the south today. Highs this afternoon into the low 90s. Mainly clear sky tonight, low 70s. And then a few widely scattered showers or thunderstorms on Tuesday. High temperatures Tuesday will be into the lower 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
There's only one Razorback. Isn't it the greatest mascot of all time?
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. Spotlight Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 68 days.
What does it mean to you to work with how much this program has meant to you and your career?
Yeah, this program meant a lot to me. I took a chance, and they just felt like family. So it's truly a blessing. You know, my teammates, love them to death, and the coaches as well.
But Eva, I just want to send a huge congratulations your way on winning the Golden Spikes Award, brother. What an achievement. I know how much this moment means to you and everyone around you. You've made everyone so proud this year, and it's been really fun watching you and seeing the way you represent Arkansas.
When he told us he was coming, we were so excited. We felt like that we got the best one out there and then maybe the best person out there. And we knew that the potential was there for him to really get better. He has a bright future, but he was, we wouldn't be here this year if it wasn't for him.
There's a line drive left field deep. Back it goes to the wall. Into the bullpen. Out of here. Aloy with a 3-run homer. It's 7-0. Uh-oh. And a beautiful over the shoulder catch by Aloy.
What's your last message to Arkansas baseball?
I love you, Arkansas.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
So Vahiba Aloy wins the Golden Spikes Award on Saturday night at Charles Schwab Field. Got a text earlier from John in Mountain Home. Says, yes, the Golden Spikes is cool. Would rather have a title or two. I'm guessing that Vahiba would rather have a title as well, John. Just a hunch on that. Hey, it's hour number 2, Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush. What are your hot takes from this weekend, whether it's Vahiba Aloy winning the Golden Spikes, Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe winning the NBA championship last night, the awesome non-conference schedule you had in basketball? What are you going to do these next few months? Some of you are diehard Cardinals fans, Cubs fans, MLB fans, and you're staying kind of track on that. We've got SEC Media Days here in a few weeks, but for Tommy, myself, and Colton, we don't necessarily find ourselves just attached to an MLB team, so not as much sports entertainment that we've had definitely the last 10 months of the calendar year.
Yeah. So I mean it. But you know what? You got to have a little absence to make the heart grow fonder. You know,
this is the
everybody
fun part.
Everybody wants to have football 52 weekends a year. Well, it wouldn't mean as much. That's one reason Major League Baseball's not as important to us in this world of a microwave and instant gratification with your phone in your hand. They knock on your door 162 times a year. College football knocks on your door, 12 times for your team, but about 14 weekends a year. That's why we love college football even more. We don't get it 162 games a year like we do baseball. That's why you're not in love with it anymore like you did as a kid.
You'll have the MLB draft coming up. NBA draft is this Wednesday and Thursday. Am I off? Didn't the draft usually Thursday, Friday thing, or am I incorrect on that?
Don't give me the line.
Okay.
I couldn't really tell you, other than the frozen envelope. I don't have a deep history of the NBA draft and their setup.
Well, Cal was talking about Adu Thiero and Pat McAfee last week.
Adu Thiero, if anybody misses that, it's going to be like they missed on, you ready?
Yeah.
Emmanuel Quickly.
Okay.
I've gone through when they missed.
What do you say?
Adu Thiero is a first-round draft pick, and I'm going to tell you why. The league, I love the physicalness of the league right now.
Absolutely.
I love it because you got to work to get a basket. It ain't horse anymore.
He goes on a little bit, but that would be that's kind of a hot take from Cal there that Adu's going to be a first-round draft pick. again, Isaiah and Jalen win the 8th and 9th championships for Razorback this weekend. Jalen was drafted 34th by the Thunder. Isaiah was drafted 49th by the Philadelphia 76ers. You could have another first round.
Yeah.
I think that might be a hot take, but who knows? He's probably more. He probably is. He is way more in tune with what NBA executives think about his player than what I currently know about Deuce Zero.
Hey, do you want to spruce up your existing home or start from the ground up? Either way, check with Farm Credit of Western Arkansas first before you get started to find out why for more than 100 years, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas has helped local families like yours make their dream home come true. Visit myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or stop by any of the 25 locations for Farm Credit today. He's talking about the physical nature of the NBA. Is it too physical? Are they letting too much go at this point? Man, because I mean, you watched this finals. It was not, it wasn't lame beer in the bad boy Pistons from the 80s. I mean, it didn't lead to a bunch of fighting and stuff, which was entertaining, but it just seems like, how do you shoot through some of that? Or I think they do a really good job of letting the play finish out and then figuring out whether or not that had a bearing on it, advantage, disadvantage, but it's as physical as I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think they just don't want it to be a ref show where it's just the free throw lines all the time, and it's a tough balance. You know it more than I do when it comes to trying to.
But there's part of that, and I'm like, my God, that's got to be a foul.
Yeah, and they don't call it. I'm not the one. I'm not the one to ask.
Well, I'm just asking as a consumer. Forget about refs and rules and all that. Just as a consumer, do you like the physical brand that you watch throughout those 7 games?
I think sometimes during the course of Arkansas's basketball season, there's complaints about the SEC refs letting things go. Football, everything now is just more physical in 2025. Each play now, I need to make sure I clarify that. Like during an average game in 2025 football, basketball, it is more physical than it used to be. There were more fights, and there weren't as many flagrant fouls called back then. But like now today, people are just stronger, faster, and quicker. It's just how it is in 20 because all the research and everything else. So it's hard to kind of deal with that as an official nowadays.
Yeah,
it just is.
So I just think it is more entertaining for the fans. But I think they're straddling or towing that line in the NBA about it can't get any more physical. I don't see any way the game could get more physical than what we watched over the 7 games.
They're trying. I mean, they're trying the best they can.
And listen, last night was Game 7. You want to stay out of the way. You want to back up and not involve yourself. But it certainly. I don't watch a lot of the regular season, but I know they call the regular season a lot tighter than what we saw throughout the playoffs.
And for the first time ever,
the Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The storybook season is complete.
And I was thinking about if we want to tie this into something like SEC football related, there's pressure on Brent Venables and Oklahoma. Does that take pressure off them at all? Is there any correlation whatsoever with Oklahoma this upcoming season based on the NBA team winning it all for the first time ever? Is it any impact at all? I would think there would be a little less pressure, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm incorrect on that. Maybe Venables has another terrible year and he gets fired. But I was just it's just such a change of Oklahoma's estate 20 plus years ago from where it is now.
Yeah. I mean, it redefined the state. Let's just say the Thunder had landed in Little Rock instead of Oklahoma City. Obviously they didn't. How would it change the dynamics in our state? Did the Arkansas Thunder, I mean, no one could ever really see Oklahoma Sooner football being unseated as the fan favorite in the state. No one can ever foresee Arkansas Razorbacks, and particularly the football program at times, being unseated as the number 1 overall crowd favorite. But that's exactly what's happened in the Sooner State. The Thunder have come in, and with Durant, big trade there this weekend, and then, obviously this championship's not going to do anything to slow it down. Mm-hmm. Sooner football, and I know they've kind of struggled the last 4 or 5 years, haven't been at their championship level like they were with Stoops and nationally competitive as consistently as they are. but they've been unseated as the number one talking point in the state, without question. And I never thought you'd see a day under any circumstance that would happen.
Well, you think about the rebuilding process in Oklahoma City. We were talking earlier about how Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe were part of the rebuilding process here in Arkansas, or really kind of putting the Razorbacks on that next level. Jalen, you think about him as a freshman, ended up starting the NCAA tournament, first Elite Eight since '95. Then the following year, they get all the way to the Sweet 16, or excuse me, another Elite Eight matchup. They ended up losing to Duke, and they upset his teammate, Chet Holmgren, at Oklahoma City. So both those guys, again, being a part of this process, not just here in Fayetteville, but also with Oklahoma City is a cool thing, I know, for all of them this morning. One of the texts that we just received here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, to shift gears back to baseball. What did you guys think of the ceremony with, was it Lodi?
It was like getting T-ball awards at the end of the year. They were still giving it out during batting practice.
Yeah, the Golden Spikes. It was just kind of odd.
Well, first of all, we want to compare it to the Heisman Trophy, but it's not.
Yeah.
There is, I don't know what you do, but to me, I mean, is it something that ESPN could do a 30-minute award ceremony studio type show with it? Have some kind of banquet there in Omaha. I do think it was a little chintzy the way it's done, but I don't know really what your options are for the Golden Spikes Award when you compare it to the awards night they do, where still in Orlando, I believe it is, for college football. Yeah. The Heisman has its own deal.
Depot College Football
right.
Award.
I mean, how do they do the Naismith Award? Because it's announced at the Final Four, but I think they have a banquet for it.
Yeah,
I don't know what you do, but it could be classed up a little bit.
It's different that Vahiva, if he's playing like we had hoped he would be in that championship series, but he's not. So kind of like Michael and kind of like you guys.
Well, here's the deal.
The T-ball is that's a great reference.
Unless there's weather, you always have that Friday off or the day before the championship round off. Why could you do it then?
Exactly.
Have a banquet. You could, you could do. Omaha could own that event and own that award somehow, in a bigger way. Mm-hmm. Now you got to get ESPN on board with that, which they'd program an hour of TV up for that. That wouldn't be hard for them to do. You got the talent already there to host a deal like that.
Yeah.
Problem is, can you really make 30 minutes or an hour of TV out of that deal? I don't know.
I think you can.
Are there other awards in college baseball you could include? I don't know.
Heisman's an hour long. You just wait till like 7:57.
Right, but there's just more interest in that.
No, there is.
There's not as much. We like to talk it up because 3 of our guys have won it, and that doesn't include all the guys that have been on the watch list deep into the end that didn't win it.
Hagan was Hagan a semifinalist or finalist last year, Colton? He's one of the two.
I think he was a semifinalist.
Okay, so he was, again, like you said, there's been guys that have gotten close but not made it to that final of Kevin Kopps. By the way, we missed this last week. Andrew Benintendi just hit a grand slam last week.
Benny told me, he said, between games, I don't need much. Chance to get off my feet, change my jersey, maybe a hot dog, and I'm ready to go.
He's been the subject of some trade rumors coming up, and I guess that you were asking, hey, what is something to monitor for now in the next 2 months prior to football season? I know the trade deadline is coming up at the end of, I guess, next month, so there'll be some, I would guess, trades. You mentioned Kevin Durant got traded to the Houston Rockets. You got some former SEC guys on there like Jabari Smith, who's former Auburn Tigers. So that was a big trade in the NBA. I think trades, like when you look for something in the offseason to discuss, you don't necessarily have that in football. The transfer portal is talked about after the regular season, but that's something that I think people enjoy just monitoring when it comes to whether it's the MLB, the NFL, the NBA, just stuff like, especially a blockbuster trade like we had take place this past weekend.
Yeah, and as far as what they could do with that, there's just this barren dry spot in our sports calendar that I don't know if you can pour enough fertilizer on it. No. WNBA, it's something to occupy your time, but that's not going to become your new summer passion. I think for people probably over the age of 55 or 60, probably still have enough of a of an allegiance to a Major League Baseball team. So, I don't know. You got these things, but there's not just one big thing.
Yeah. Arkansas related, again, there's a ways out till you have anything Razorback sports related with the conclusion of the NBA last night, some 2 former Hawks. You do have the transfer portal, though. Like I saw Gabe Frazier is entering the portal. I thought this was, I didn't know this. He was a teammate of Derek Curial's kid, who's an LSU outfielder. You've got a couple guys in, like Jackson Wells, who played for Little Rock this past season, Ethan McIlvain, who pitched for Vanderbilt. So if you're an Arkansas fan, obviously there's, you just had to commit, I want to say it's 16 or 17 in the 2026 class, the Ashton Dawson kid from Louisiana. So while trade deadlines and the MLB obviously still going on in professional sports, commits in the transfer portal is something that I guess Arkansas fans are locking on until.
Well, it will be interesting to see how Dave reassembles a roster for next year.
And he'll have his end of the year press conference to
right.
get some stuff from. Yeah.
And that's always good. I heard Chuck talking about this morning, and he was referencing a piece that Matt Jones at Whole Hog Sports had written about part of the new rules around college sports and the scholarships and the way they're going to handle the roster is they're going to get more days in the fall. Another couple of weeks of fall practice. So they'll start sooner, and he'll have a better idea. And then there's another portal period, and guys will leave. And, the way they got to manage and trim down the roster to get it to, to the, 35 now, it's going to provide more practice. And you talk about competitive, you're really trying to make the team. It's what you're doing at that point when you come early in the fall. You're trying to make the team.
Yeah.
And, so they'll have a good idea and a good handle on what they need coming out of fall when they have another portal period.
Well, we mentioned, I'm guessing Dave's end-of-the-year press conference will be at some point this week. We did get a chance to hear from him talk about Vahiba Loy after winning the Golden Spikes. Here's what Coach had to say about his star player.
At the end of that season, we needed a shortstop, just the way that everything had worked out with the draft and the coming draft anyway. And he was the one we wanted, number one. And we went all out, and we got him to visit. And at the time we didn't know what he was thinking, because you can tell he's not going to tell you a lot. He's not a big talker, and we really liked him as a person. His dad was with him, and when he told us he was coming, we were so excited. We felt like that we got the best one out there, and then maybe the best person out there, and we knew that the potential was there for him to really get better. He had a good freshman year, but then he had a really good sophomore year, and obviously had a great junior year, and has a bright future. But he was, we wouldn't be here we wouldn't have been at the tournament this year if it wasn't for him.
Even a great team like Arkansas still got the best player on the team, and you won't accomplish what you will. Now, we've talked about that. You had a player of his level, and obviously, if you believe he's the best player in the sport, there's the award to prove it and go along with it. But there's still, it tells you how great this team was. You had the Golden Spikes winner, and no one would say he was head and shoulders, leaps and bounds beyond his other teammates. That's how good this team was. And unfortunate they don't have the other trophy they wanted to get in Omaha.
Phil framed it, and I was sitting next to him last week, and after the game concluded, we're doing the shows the next day, and from Omaha DJs, and I thought he framed it in a way that I hadn't thought about before. It's like, let's say this basketball team, this upcoming season, goes on a run, ends up in Indianapolis, Indiana, and you lose in that Final Four game against whoever. I don't think there's a single. I know I'm not going to be disappointed. I'll be maybe sad that they didn't go to the national championship or win the thing, but in no way, shape, or form would I call that a disappointment, making it to your first Final Four since '95. You had brought up something earlier, which another point that I hadn't thought about. It's like it's almost good to have these expectations that fans are still sad, mad, angry, frustrated, in pain. Just, we fielded a bunch of calls on Hog Reaction and on our shows the next day, and it was a mixed bag. I would say based on the reaction of losing to LSU and the way you did. It's not that you just lost; it's the way you lost. But that is again, it is wild to think about as we look back on this season and then being second in the SEC, then getting all the way to the Final Four in baseball. That in some line of thinking, it's still kind of a disappointment, baby, where they could have ended up. And that is, again, a credit to what DBH, Matt Hobbs, Bobby Warnes, Nate Thompson, the rest of that staff, obviously the players like Vahiba Loy and stuff have built up. And it's, once again, important to note that the last 10 years versus the previous 11 or 12, whatever, they're getting the College World Series quicker, and they're making it farther. And no one necessarily wants to hear, you still want a championship. I get that. But as you said earlier,
the cards to fall your way for once.
Dave is getting better as a coach, which is pretty crazy in his 60s.
64.
They're better than they were for a longer period of time prior to the first four. So,
hey, summertime is definitely here. That means mowing the grass, and you need to get by WT Equipment right now. They've got the deals rolling for you on during the Hustler sales event. You get up to $1,700 off MSRP on select Hustler zero-turn like the Raptor X, and qualified buyers get 0% financing for 42 months. So if you've already mowed the yard a time or two with that old beat-up mower that you've had for a number of years, or you're just not comfortable on it now, or maybe you're push mowing and you're ready to ride, they've got you covered at WT Equipment. 479-442-8284. Or shop online. They got 9 locations around the state at WTEquip.com.
All right, we've got our SEC update coming up. The LSU Tigers win their 8th national championship, 2 in the last 3 years, 2 and 4 for Jay Johnson and the Tigers. So we'll touch on that and some other things as we continue on a Hot Take Monday.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
This is ESPN college basketball analyst and former Razorback Jimmy Dykes, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Transform your yard work game with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Experts and nearly 200,000 homeowners rave about Ego's performance. Gas power without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Their patented 56-volt arc lithium battery delivers top-notch torque and fits all 90-plus Ego tools. Power through yard work and tailgates with the same battery. Plus, enjoy Ego innovations like the first fold-flat lawnmower and weatherproof equipment. Discover more at egopowerplus.com.
Can I throw a humble brag out there?
Absolutely. Please, yes.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Are you paying more than $95 a month for your website? Modular Orange specializes in building professional custom websites for service businesses just like yours for $95 a month with no upfront costs. There's a reason lawyers, dentists, accountants, counselors, plumbers, and electricians all trust Modular Orange to build their online presence. And they don't stop there. They also offer SEO and digital advertising at prices that will blow the competition away. Ready to get started? Go to modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Adventure doesn't wait, and neither should you. Start your next journey at Arkansas's #1 fifth wheel dealer, Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas. No matter the size of your family or your budget, Wheels RV has a new travel trailer or fifth wheel to help you explore the great outdoors. And with our exclusive lifetime warranty on every new RV, you can hit the open road with peace of mind. Come see us on 412 in Tawnytown or check us out at wheelsrv.net. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Take your dining to a whole new level at Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant. You'll find the finest cuts of steak and the freshest seafood in an amazing atmosphere. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant is at Chaffee Crossing, across from the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education on Chad Colley Drive. When your night deserves the best, call 597-4081 for reservations or book online at Toast. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant, your destination for not only great food, but an amazing experience.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about. A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is your business's IT infrastructure secure? At Dixie Digital, we provide comprehensive managed IT services to ensure your systems are running smoothly and your data is protected. Combine that with Xerox, Brother, and Epson reliable printers and copiers, and you've got everything you need for success. Call us today at 783-6600 to learn more about our IT services and special offers. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America. The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally holds the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
This could be 2 in the game. Dickinson, and that's it. Tiger Town is title town again as the boys bring the 8th World Series title back to the Bayou.
Thanks to voodoo and witchcraft in Louisiana, LSU wins its 8th national title. 2 in the last 3 years. Jay Johnson gets his second, fastest coach in college baseball history to win multiple national titles at a school. You feel like that should rightfully yours. Here's the thing, and we talked about this a little bit. As a team, you are close to LSU. That played out, and again, you went 1-4 against them this season, but it's a tight game, obviously, the last loss of the season. Tight game, game 1 in Baton Rouge. Things just didn't go your way. You didn't make the plays you needed to and had you. And I'm not talking about facilities, I'm not talking about fan base, but as a program, there is a gap, a major gap between LSU and Arkansas. And I know that just listen, we don't have a single national championship as a school when it comes to baseball. And they have, and we might beat them in the regular season when they come to Fayetteville next year, and hopefully in the SEC tournament if you play them there again. But 8 titles to nothing. I had a pretty hostile debate with some Razorback fans about this last week. But to me, that's as stark as contrast as it gets.
I would not argue that LSU's program is on a higher level of footing, but I think your words were a stark difference. I believe is exactly what you said. I would not go that far. I understand the titles. Now, what Skip Burtman did in 1987 or whatever, whatever the years were, what happened in the 80s and 90s doesn't have a damn thing to do with what's going on in 2025. Just doesn't. And is there some magic around their program?
Witchcraft.
Is there something that they've got figured out that we don't? Absolutely. But Arkansas and LSU as programs in the year 2025, are they a step ahead of you? Yes. They have the titles to go with that, but there's not a canyon between these two programs.
I think I've just wondered the last week or so, it's like, what is the key? What are we missing? And luck has been presented, and that's fine. But like, what are you missing to get over that set hump as a baseball program? Because for all intents and purposes, everything the first one,
and maybe the floodgates open once you get the first one. I mean,
Hope so.
I think in the end, it's about timely performances, and maybe it is about confidence. I think luck. I don't think there's one right answer to your question. It's a good question, but there isn't one right answer to it.
I just think when you think, and I talked about this a little bit earlier. So we joked about the hog cycle, right? You've got this thing that's on social media that's like, can't wait for football season. At least we still have basketball, and then Hogs save us from the pain. And I know that it was painful the way that they ended in San Francisco to Texas Tech when you feel like you should have been in the Elite Eight. But I almost felt like the weight of the entire state was on them in the bottom of the ninth inning in that game. And we've talked about pressure and all these other elements that obviously go into a course of a baseball game. But I mean, there were plays made in that game that those guys hadn't misplayed all season. And then all of a sudden it showcased itself in the ninth inning.
Didn't meet the moment.
No.
But again, pressure is a privilege.
And that's
pressure is a result of expectation. If you're there and you've kind of just, the brackets falling your way, upsets have fallen your way, and I don't want to say, do you think Coastal Carolina was under a bunch of pressure from their fans, their administration, their boosters and donors?
I think they were really happy to be there.
I think that's a great way to frame it. Was the pressure on LSU? Yes, because their fans, their administration, their donors, their boosters, their whole baseball family was expecting one and only one thing. And guess what? The question is this morning, hey, that's great. How are we going to repeat it again next year? That's the next question, right? That's a privilege.
You'd like to get back.
You'd like to be at a point.
2018, 2019, except not go 0-2, and obviously you'd like to get the whole thing. JT Hot Springs ties right. What Skip did there does have to do it today. We are talented as they are. We have better facilities. They don't go to Omaha thinking they can win or believe they can win. They go to Omaha sane and knowing that they are going to win a national championship. Now Maneri did not have the same success that Bertman did. I think he just got one. I think it was just the 2009 one where they beat y'all on the way to it, which we would take in a heartbeat. But, I mean, again, it's the best job in baseball, as evidenced by the last three coaches to do it, and the fact that Johnson's won 2 in the last 3, and in 4 years he's won 2. So, and then Kane Anderson was just, I didn't watch the game, and I look at stats. I mean, it was unbelievable.
You ever think geography has a lot to do with all of this in sports? I sure do.
Louisiana and I can't tell you about football or baseball, but we talk about the recruiting and everything else. But I mean, baseball is really popular in this state. Like all my friends, I'm like the only friend that didn't grow up playing baseball. There's a lot of guys that I know that really talented. A couple of them went on to play in Arkansas, but no, it does, and that's again.
Think that warmer weather when it's a little bit warmer there in February, January, getting ready. Think maybe that's had something to do with building their program. The fact that state has produced more NFL draft picks per capita than any other place in our country, doesn't it kind of seem to make sense that there's probably a lot of other good athletes there? Oh, by the way, Texas is next door too. They got a lot of folks. I mean, sometimes geography, I don't think it takes a genius to figure out why, historically Texas and Georgia and Florida and places like that, Alabama, have been really good in football. But sometimes you just got to build it and they will come. LSU's built it and they still keep coming. I think Arkansas's built it. They're coming. They just, we're only measuring this thing and we're picking the fly poop out of the pepper here. And I know it's a big thing to have that natty. And they got 8, you got none. But I don't know what that one extra thing is to keep where you're not nosed out.
I think where I come from, and this is actually a non-homerish take, which is different for me. I get frustrated by Arkansas fans that say we are on the same level of LSU when we're not. That's where I get mad at. It's like it takes, and whether it's Ole Miss and Mississippi State, some of these other schools that you would put below you as a baseball program and others. And it took Mississippi State a while. They had been to countless College World Series before they finally won one a few years ago. Until we burst through that glass ceiling or whatever you want to call it, I can't go there yet.
Well, you know what frustrates me more than anything is not getting what you deserve.
Oh yeah,
it's one thing that Hey, you don't get the result. Well, did you build the facility? Did you put in the practice time? Did you know, you can look at this a lot of things in life. Well, I didn't sell enough this month. I didn't close enough life insurance policies. Would you ask for enough of them? You know, my yard doesn't look great. What do you get out there and you fertilize and weed and you do the mowing yourself?
I mowed
do you have
yesterday.
irrigation? Well, you don't deserve to have a great looking yard.
Yeah.
I mean, you just keep going down the list of, are you getting what you deserve? Now, you tell me, you'll never convince me Dave Van Horn hasn't done what he's needed to do to deserve a national title. Yep. And that's the frustrating part is I think all the work's been done, all the heavy lifting's been done, the facilities are there, the brains and the smart decisions are there.
And you see,
and then when you don't get what you deserve, and then you see a guy like Chris Lemonis. I don't know anything about Chris Lemonis other than he won a national championship at Mississippi State and then got fired. You know,
Tony Vitello, the mentee winning before the mentor.
You know, that's frustrating. And I'm not saying Tony didn't deserve one. I'm just saying you see other guys. You know, Bianco was going to get fired at Ole Miss. Wins a national title. You know, so that's the part that just eats at me is Dave Van Horn has done everything humanly possible, and he's earned the right to win one of these, but that's not how they hand them out. They don't hand them out based on that.
And I think as we wrap this up, before we go to William, who's listening in Lafayette, Louisiana this morning, not that you want to go through these trials and tribulations much longer, but if Arkansas, and I'm not going to say win, I'm not going to say that, but if they do finally burst through and win a national championship, just how sweet that will feel for every single player, staff, and previous, because the previous players had that burden too. They might not say it publicly, but I mean, we saw obviously an emotional Cam and Charles and Beheven, all those guys, and they share that burden. Hopefully, that's a burden that eventually gets taken off their shoulders. All right, William's in Lafayette, Louisiana this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. William, go ahead, man. You're on the Morning Rush.
How y'all doing today?
Good, buddy.
I've been around this bunch my whole life down here. Y'all make some good points. One thing I like to say is the reason that Johnson has two is that they got Paul Skeens and we did. I think that was closer to going our way than a lot of people know, right? And had that gone our way, right, I think that would have been different. I don't think. I'm not saying we would have got one, but I don't think LSU would have two right now. But it is a mentality. It's an ego. It's an attitude that they carry with them, right? And you know, oftentimes I think Arkansas fans are way nice to other fan bases, and they bicker and fight and complain, and they're ugly to themselves internally. But I think they need to change some of that approach, right? And I'm going to go ahead and say it. We will get one. I'm confident that, right? And it's going to be amazing, right? I think Tommy just got back from Boston, and they had a curse up there, and it took them a long time to win one, but they're still partying from that daggum championship. We're going to get the same thing. But you guys make some good points. I don't know what it is. It's just they carry an attitude about them, right? I can tell y'all this. After the game Wednesday night, right, on Thursday night, excuse me, when we lost it in the bottom of the ninth,
Wednesday night.
Yeah. LSU fans, for the first time I could ever recall, they were embarrassed that they won that game. And if you guys have been around a lot of LSU fans, you'll know they're not embarrassed about much, but they weren't just humble. They were embarrassed that they won that game.
They only get embarrassed when they run out of Crown Royal. That's the only time they get embarrassed. Invite their family over, and they ran out of Crown Royal. That's the only thing that can embarrass them people.
And you see it better than
that's only on Ash Wednesday.
Oh man.
You boys have a good time. When you get down here again, you let me know. I'm gonna show you some places in Baton Rouge. I'll tell you about some places in Baton Rouge to go eat. Y'all have a good summer. I'll see y'all. I'll take a few weeks off. I'll see y'all in football season.
Buddy, we'll take you up on that.
Thanks, William. Yeah, I think Arkansas plays in November there in football this season, if I remember that right. Yeah, there is a mentality that LSU baseball carries that it is impressive. And he's right, because I remember DVH alluding to Skeens. He didn't say Paul Skeens, we should have had him, but he made this was obviously 3 years ago. He kind of made a reference like, man, we were close. I'm paraphrasing, but I think William's right on that.
All right, that is your SEC update this morning. Celebrate freedom and fun with the red, white, and blue sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Cool off in a Doughboy above-ground pool. Man, the way it's heating up, it is time to get neck deep in your pool. Now up to $1,500 off on above-ground pools by Doughboy, or dive into the summer with a semi-in-ground pool starting at just $190 a month, or go big with an in-ground pool and get a free heater with select pools to keep cool this summer. It's all at Burton Pools and Spas, Springdale, Fort Smith, Hot Springs, and in Greenland. 4 locations now to take care of you. That's all at Burton Pools and Spas and online at burtonpools.com.
Let's go to Rogers, where Kevin is this morning. Kevin, you're on the Morning Rush, man. What's up?
Hey, Ty. Hey, Tommy. How was your weekend? Good?
Good.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Took it easy. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a lot. I mean, I watched a little bit. I actually missed the first inning. I guess I watched I picked up in the second. I didn't realize there was a lot of drama that happened. It was quite comical, the one umpire running in and then just falling on his tush. That was kind of weird. I mean, but, congratulations to LSU. As I've said all year, they're a good baseball team. What's amazing to me, Tommy and Ty, if you look at that lineup, and it's a great lineup, but their 9-hole hitter, I mean, in the infield, probably the second, if not the first most important position in the infield, I mean, it's either shortstop or third base. And their third baseman's batting .024 for the last 40 at-bats. And, comes up, and I just can't believe, a guy like that and a team like that, as a guy batting like that, and they still find ways to win. I mean, he came up in critical situations against us yesterday. He had bases loaded, comes out, pops out, actually hits the ball. It was just kind of a weird World Series. A lot of weird stuff happened. We're not jinxed or anything. I mean, I just think this year we might have been a player away. I mean, I really still go on that Nolan Souza thing. I really think that was a big loss.
You change your infield. Dave talked about that. Yeah, I mean, you had to completely reconstruct it once you lost him.
I mean, LSU was fully healthy, and that is a dangerous lineup. 1 through 8 anyway, hitting-wise. I mean, and then they have a guy that they were bringing off the bench occasionally that was batting .400 against us.
I mean, you had Kojo on first base for a while till Robinette came on, and then, I mean, you just think if you had someone at second, maybe a scotch taller, maybe they make that play on that hit by Jones back up the middle.
And to your point about Braswell, Kevin, I think if I remember this correctly, you know how Hobbs visited, and I forget if it was Gackle or who it was, but he did that mound visit, and Johnson smartly pinch hit somebody. You can't make back-to-back mound visits, so I'm pretty sure that player you're referring to, I'm blanking on his name, it was in like 330 or something, got a hit there. So
yeah, and he started yesterday. Yeah, that was just, I mean, you say what you want about Dave. We all love him, and he, Hall of Fame coach. But at that moment, Johnson outmanaged him. He goes, "You're going to pitch to a left-hander." And I think that was, I talked about communication, a few days ago in the infield in the 9th inning. I think that's something else that you have to communicate as coaches. Says, "Hey, coach, don't forget they have another left-hander. They may pitch hit him. Let's pitch to Pearson." I think that might have been something at that. When that happened, it was a big deal. We took the lead, so it doesn't. I mean, I don't know that matters at this point. The problem that I have, this conference isn't any easier, and with the transfer portal, I mean, this conference in baseball is just as tough as it is in basketball and football. I mean, so you got 6, 7 teams, 8 that could win a national title. So I'm just not going to go out on the limb and say Dave's finally going to get one. I mean, I think you have to have that dominant pitcher, and I don't believe we had that this year. Yes, Root was good. Gage was hurt. Gage looked great in the World Series. But Root was up and down, let's be honest. He looked great against Texas, but he came back and doesn't look great. So, I mean, they had a guy that they knew who pitched, let's be honest, 18 innings in the World Series, and he gave up 1 run on 5 hits. That's 2 wins in the World Series for you by 1 guy.
Yeah, which is
and they only scored. I mean, they scored 1 run against them. They only got 4 against us.
Very similar to the Wake Forest game 2 years ago, Kevin, where Paul Skeens, I think with the distance. Appreciate the call. Yeah. That is so. that is something, again, whether it's Anderson, Skeens, I'm pretty sure Tennessee had a dominant pitcher when they won it 2 years ago. I'm blanking on his name. But, again, Zach was first-team All-SEC. Zach had an awesome regional start, awesome super regional start, bad first game against bad second inning against LSU, and great 5 innings against, was it Murray or UCLA?
Murray.
It was Murray. So, and I don't count Ole Miss in the SEC tournament as postseason. So, what is that? 3 out of his 4 postseason starts were really good to great.
Well,
just didn't have that good second inning against LSU.
And I'm okay with picking at threads. That's what you do with greatness. You find the little things and try to improve them. But at least you're not Vandy. At least you're not Texas, who earned 1 and 2 seeds in the overall bracket.
Yeah.
How'd that go for them? I mean, we can pick at threads and, hey, well, if David done this, or, hey, they got 2 left. Hey, all valid points. But at the end of the day, we've been on the side that we watched a couple of really good teams in our league, Vanderbilt and Texas, bow out super early. The rest of the league wilted this year in regional and super regional play for the most part. You were the cream of the crop when it all mattered at the end. You were the second best team in this league. Second or third best team in the country, in my estimate. So, I mean, picking at threads is fine. That means you expect more. That's reasonable. That's what we should do. But let's also not get lost in the idea that, hey, Texas watched from home, Vandy watched from home, and a lot of other SEC teams, all of them except LSU, watched from home. Tennessee included. You sent them home. So let's also not get lost in the fact that you're not as far behind as you might feel like you are right now. Hey, one place to go this summer is Gaston's. I was talking to our friend Karen, who works here with us. Her and her family went to Gaston's this past weekend. Wonderful fishing. Sent me a picture of a 21, 22-inch rainbow they'd caught. Said a big one broke off, got away. But that's, had time with her kids and her family on the White River, and it was just magical for them. Great meals in the restaurant, cabin overlooking the White River. Great place to start your day with a cup of coffee. Head down to the dock, get in the boat with your guide that is going to show you just a wonderful time on the White River, put you in all the right places and take care of all the details. 870-431-5202 is the number if this sounds good and something you want to do. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hey, guys, enjoy your show. Out of all the sports programs in the state, I really enjoy y'all's both.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Transform your yard work game with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Experts and nearly 200,000 homeowners rave about Ego's performance. Gas power without the noise, fuss, or fumes. Their patented 56-volt arc lithium battery delivers top-notch torque and fits all 90-plus Ego tools. Power through yard work and tailgates with the same battery. Plus, enjoy Ego innovations like the first fold-flat lawnmower and weatherproof equipment. Discover more at egopowerplus.com.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
This is The Morning Rush.
All the road hogs have the hog calls and the tailgate ready to roll.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Take your dining to a whole new level at Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant. You'll find the finest cuts of steak and the freshest seafood in an amazing atmosphere. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant is at Chaffee Crossing, across from the Arkansas Colleges of Health Education on Chad Colley Drive. When your night deserves the best, call 597-4081 for reservations or book online at Toast. Blue Point Seafood and Steak Restaurant, your destination for not only great food, but an amazing experience.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, Ping G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Valley Family Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Forest Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Forest Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoForestGrid.com. That's GoForestGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Blocked by Auckland. Short to save. SGA splits the defense. Kicks it out. Williams, a three-pointer. 21-point lead.
So the Oklahoma City Thunder win their first championship in Oklahoma City last night, 103 to 91. One of the tough things last night is Tyrese Halliburton goes out with that Achilles injury, and Tommy, he was cooking before that game. It was one of those things where he hit like 3 triples to start that game, and I know Oklahoma City fans were nervous. You don't want, obviously, whether it's an opponent or not, to go through an injury like that, but you've got now your 8th and 9th Razorbacks to ever win an NBA championship. Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe added to that list last night. 4 of the last 5 years have featured Razorbacks.
Yeah, and when you like to make a habit out of that, and listen, I think as long as John Calipari's there, we're going to have more Razorbacks and players that in years to come that are going to be in this same conversation with us. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Brought to you this morning by the Oakland Sports app. if you haven't downloaded that. I know the summertime is here, and we have got to get that Oaklawn Sports app going. They've got everything you need to have some fun with the college football futures and all the bets that are there. And the early lines, I think Arkansas is 5.5 wins over under is the total on that. You can download that now and get the Oaklawn app in the Apple app or Google Play Store. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
All right, last thing here on a Hot Take Monday. Charlie Sheen has announced his memoir, The Book of Sheen. Will either of you two be buying and reading The Book of Sheen?
Well, I kind of like 2.5 Men, so probably.
Colton?
No chance.
No chance. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to leave you this morning. Halftime, Phil Ellison, Matt Jones is
Platinum selling artist Tyler Barr is coming to Harrison, Arkansas at the Creekside Amp this Friday. Tickets on